there was ever a debate about what would happen if a comic book came to life and jumped on the big screen, it could be settled by watching 300. Being a comic book movie come to life, however, works for and against it. At times it's gorgeous with poetic violence, and other times it feels like it's taking itself way, way too seriously. Both points are due entirely to the fact that it is a comic book come to life, although the too serious part can be partially linked to the word Spartan law being used so much that if you were drinking every time you heard them, you'd be in a coma spiraling towards death and, well, glory. First, let's get the gay stuff out of the way. 300 is so gay, it's probably shown in gay gyms across the world as examples of what gay men want gay men to look like, proving that women don't like big muscles, guys like big muscles. It's so gay, it's probably turned on by its own dick. It's so gay, openly gay movies call it faggot behind its back. When picking a title, they decided to pick a number between 1 and 10 to determine an appropriate number for its gayness. Now that that's out of the way, I know that Zack Snyder had a motto about being absolutely true to the source material, including camera angles, and an admirable effort to make the cinematography feel like the comic, but some things just simply do not translate well to real life. On a page, a Speedo-wearing Spartan chopping off the limbs of a misunderstood Persian looks great, but on film, it's just, dare I say, hard to swallow. As for the plot, it's pretty simple. Persia led by the tyrant Xerxes, who totally wants to fuck butts with Leonidas. Okay, that's it, I promise. Anyway, he has his eyes set on Greece and wants it for his own bald self. Now, if that fit into Spartan law, he'd be in, but it doesn't, so he's fucked. The Spartans, led by King Leonidas, lead a small force of 300 to take on a seemingly limitless Persian army in a specific spot where they can't be overwhelmed. Oh, and there's some stuff about honor and glory, and some solid A-cut boobies swaying in slow motion with over-the-top, generic, long-lost woman vocals in the background. They make the Persians suffer for a while, the Spartans, not the boobies, but are betrayed by the hunchback of Notre Dame and subsequently arrowed to death, sparking patriotism all over Greece and leading to the Persian army assumably being beaten once and for all. My favorite scene in the whole movie is where the hunchback has just revealed to Leonidas a goat path that could undo the Spartan defenses and begs Leonidas to join his men. He's denied because Leonidas is understandably prejudiced against ugly hunchbacks. Leonidas is walking away and the guy is screaming at him, saying he's wrong, and well, it's pretty obvious that the guy is pissed off, and Leonidas, who clearly is in earshot, walks away and in the next scene says, "I hope nobody shows him about this goat path." Oh, that's brilliant. I can see why you're the king. Maybe not the one person who actually knows about it and who you just pissed off and gave ample reason to give the information to the Persians for the one thing you denied him. I mean, Jesus, was he really surprised that he betrayed him? All he wanted to do was fight. Just put him up front away from all the good-looking people. He dies and the world is rid of one less ugly person. Problem solved. Justifiable hunchback prejudice aside, some people also didn't like that it was historically inaccurate. My question to those people is this: does this look like something you'd see on the History Channel? I didn't think so. Apparently people also thought that it showed the Persians in a negative way. Now, I hate protesters in general, but upon watching it again, I have to admit that this argument actually has some weight to it. According to this movie, Persians like their women heavily scarred and limbless, have a seemingly mandatory rule about nipple piercings, and produce people that are either 10 feet tall with voices deeper than Darth Vader, or monsters filled with teeth that would make even an English dentist squeamish. As I mentioned before, 300 also has a consistent habit of taking itself way, way too seriously. This can be most easily seen in the entirely necessary but ultimately laughable use of Spartan law. It's necessary because you need to understand the Spartan's mindset, but it also makes everything just so awkwardly serious. Apparently everything must be worthy of a Spartan, for it is Spartan law. Is this bread worthy of a Spartan? What of this toilet paper? Is it worthy of a Spartan? Jesus Christ, the Spartans talk about themselves so much and how superior they are to every civilization in every way. They probably stand next to a mirror and beat off to themselves in a mirror, beating off to themselves in a mirror. And on a unsegued note, what the shit is that goat thing in Xerxes' tent? What the hell is that thing? You've got oracles and guys with mutated axes attached to their limbs, but really? A half-goat thing that plays some sort of instrument? I'm sorry, I just can't get past this. What the fuck is that? I mean, what the fuck is it? Even in this world of fantasy, I still don't know what it is, and that's a really, really bad sign. Some of the fantastical stuff you buy, like the Immortals being portrayed as a group of fang-toothed sunlight rejecting... You know what? Fuck it. I can't get over this goat thing. I mean, what the fuck is it? Somebody explain it to me. What is it doing there? Is it a pet? Is it some sort of Persian sex toy? I demand an explanation from somebody. But you know what? It really doesn't matter because it's sensationalized, you know? It's true to its craft, and that's what makes it work. It's over the top in every way, in action, in drama, in abs, everything. It is what it is by design, and for that, I give it credit. It's undeniably fun to watch. It's just so full of its own shit that it stops it from becoming a true masterpiece instead of an interesting comic book movie. And again, I can't figure out why they deemed it necessary to have the Speedos in there. I mean, why? Why not some badass armor? I mean, if you really wanted the nipples in there, you could talk to Joel Schumacher. I'm sure he probably could have made some outstanding recommendations.